All right, so today we're diving into something pretty fascinating. We're going to be looking at how AI is changing the game in education, especially when it comes to teaching English as a foreign language.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to see how AI is being used in the classroom these days.
And we're going to be focusing on the work of this guy, Brian David Phillips, an associate professor over at National Chengchi University in Taipei.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. He's really making waves in the field. He's been teaching English as a foreign language for a long time.
Like decades. And now he's right at the forefront of this whole AI in education thing.
And what's really interesting is that he's not just using it for, the obvious things like grading papers or translating text.
Right. He's actually using it to create really engaging lesson materials, which I think is kind of revolutionary.
Definitely a game changer for teachers. I mean, imagine being able to create a custom lesson plan tailored to each student's individual needs and interests. That's what he's doing with his EFL Convo blueprint.
Yeah, this blueprint thing is pretty cool. It uses AI to basically whip up these custom handouts for reading and conversation activities.
It's like having a personal AI assistant for lesson planning.
Exactly. So let's say you're teaching a class on, I don't know, something like sustainable living.
Okay, yeah, I can see where you're going with this.
You input your students' English levels, how proficient they are, and boom,
Mm,
the AI generates these reading passages that are perfectly matched to their abilities.
that's amazing. So everyone's challenged but not overwhelmed.
Precisely.
Hmm,
And get this, it doesn't just stop there.
there's more.
Oh, yeah. The AI then goes on to create comprehension questions that actually make the students think.
So it's not just about memorizing facts.
Nope. It's about sparking some real discussion, getting them to really engage with the material.
I love that.
And to keep those conversations flowing, the blueprint generates two sets of conversation prompts. One set is more general, but the other one,
The other one's a bit more personal, right?
they connect the topic to the students' own lives and experiences.
So they're not just learning about sustainability in the abstract, they're relating it to their own world. That's powerful.
Super powerful. And, since Phillips is so involved in research on AI in education, specifically EFL in literature,
Right, I was going to ask about that.
it makes you wonder, what else is he cooking up in the lab?
I mean, think about it. He's exploring how AI can be used to analyze student writing, give personalized feedback, create interactive simulations that bring literature to life.
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
Seriously, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to AI in education.
It is, and it's exciting to see someone like Phillips pushing the boundaries,
Mm,
but I bet some teachers out there are thinking, this all sounds great, but I'm no tech whiz.
yeah, I can see that being a hurdle for some.
But the thing is, Phillips actually makes this whole process of building custom AI tools pretty accessible. He uses ChatGPT Plus and Hugging Face, and he breaks it down in a way that anyone can understand.
Wait, so even someone who's not a programmer could potentially create their own AI tools for their classroom?
That's the idea. He explains these technical terms like GPT Builder and knowledge files in plain English.
Okay, so knowledge files, what are those exactly?
So think of them as a way to teach the AI about your teaching style. You upload stuff like your favorite conversation prompts, the grammar points you want to focus on.
So you're basically giving the AI a crash course in your teaching methods.
Exactly. And then it uses that information to generate custom materials that fit your curriculum.
So it's not just randomly pulling stuff from the internet, it's actually learning from you. That's pretty cool.
It is. And to keep things fresh, you can even turn on a web browsing feature.
What does that do?
Let's say you're teaching about climate change. You want the latest info, right? The AI can go out and grab it from the web.
Wow, so the content is always up to date.
Always. Phillips has really thought this through. He's making AI accessible to everyone, not just the tech-savvy folks.
That's really important if we want to see wider adoption of these tools in education. I mean, it has the potential to be so transformative.
It really does.
Uh,
And I think what Phillips is doing is paving the way for a future where AI is seamlessly integrated into education.
a future where teachers are empowered, students are engaged, and everyone benefits from the incredible power of AI. It really is amazing how he manages to make this complex AI stuff work in a real classroom setting.
I know, right? It shows how dedicated he is to
Yeah.
teaching and research.
Yeah, totally.
And that really comes through in his EFL Convo blueprint.
Hmm.
It's not just some pie-in-the-sky idea. It's something teachers can actually use right now.
That's so cool.
It's really awesome how he's combined his years of experience teaching English with his passion for AI.
Speaking of his research, the stuff on AI analyzing student writing and giving personalized feedback, that really caught my eye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I could totally change the way we teach writing, especially with big classes where teachers can't always give individual attention.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Can you talk a bit more about how AI feedback is different from, traditional teacher feedback? What makes it special?
Okay, so imagine an AI that can spot grammar mistakes, but also look at writing style,
Okay.
vocabulary, even how well arguments are put together.
Wow.
It could give feedback that goes beyond just fixing errors.
So it actually helps students improve their writing.
Exactly.
That would be so helpful, especially for students who, might not be comfortable sharing their work with a teacher.
Right. Or those who need a little extra help. It could really create a more confident and engaged writing environment in the classroom.
I love that. And it would give teachers more time for other things, right?
Exactly. Like meeting one-on-one with students, going deeper into feedback on certain pieces, or maybe facilitating peer reviews.
It's about finding a balance and really personalizing the writing process.
Yes.
And it's not just about feedback on writing. He's also looking into AI for creating interactive simulations for literature classes.
Right. That's so innovative.
Imagine students stepping into a virtual world from a novel they're reading,
Whoa.
interacting with the characters, experiencing the story firsthand.
It would totally change how they connect with literature, right?
Definitely. Especially for students who are more visual learners or struggle with traditional literary analysis.
It could bring the book to life in a way traditional teaching just can't.
Exactly. It creates a more immersive learning experience.
One that caters to different learning styles. Phillips is really pushing the boundaries with this work.
It's so inspiring to see someone like Phillips, who knows so much about EFL and literature, embracing the power of AI.
I know.
It just goes to show how committed he is to finding new and innovative ways to teach and inspire his students.
He's a true innovator,
Yeah.
using technology to make a positive impact in education.
It's clear that he's not just fascinated by the idea of AI. He actually wants to see it working in classrooms.
Right,
He's really putting in the effort to make these tools something teachers can use.
right.
And his research shows how valuable they can be.
You know what I find really admirable? He doesn't pretend there are no challenges or downsides to AI in education.
Yeah, he's very aware of the potential pitfalls.
He really stresses how important it is to implement it responsibly and think about the ethical side of things.
I think that's crucial. We can't just jump into using new tech without considering the impact on students and teachers.
Right.
What kind of concerns does he bring up specifically?
Well, one of the big ones is bias in AI systems. If the data used to train those systems isn't diverse enough,
Oh, I see.
it can lead to biased results, which could actually make existing inequalities in education even worse.
So, for instance, if an AI is mostly trained on writing from native English speakers, it might be unfair to students who are learning English as a second language.
Exactly, because their grammar and writing style might be different.
Right.
Phillips is a big advocate for more research and development to make sure these tools are fair and inclusive.
Makes sense.
He also thinks it's important to be transparent about how these systems work.
So teachers and students understand their limitations.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's taking such a balanced approach. It's not just about promoting AI. It's about thinking critically about how we use it.
Exactly, and that's what makes his work so important. He's not just some tech enthusiast. He's an experienced educator who gets the complexities of teaching.
He sees AI as a way to make teaching better, not to replace teachers altogether.
Precisely.
So, for our listeners who are teachers, what's the main thing they should take away from Phillips's work?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that AI isn't some futuristic fantasy. It's here now, and it can really change how we teach and learn.
And Phillips is giving us a practical guide for how to start incorporating it into our classrooms.
Right?
He's made his EFL Convo blueprint publicly available, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's a great resource for teachers who want to try out AI-powered lesson planning.
And there's so much information available online, like tutorials and communities where educators can connect and learn from each other.
Absolutely.
But even if you're not a teacher, this conversation is a reminder that AI is affecting all of us.
Right.
The more we understand it, the better prepared we'll be for the future.
Totally.
It's a powerful tool, and we need to make sure it's used for good.
Couldn't agree more.
Brian David Phillips is a great example of how AI can be used to make a positive difference in education.
Yeah, his commitment to innovation and ethical considerations is something we should all strive for.
So, to wrap things up, we encourage everyone to check out Phillips' work, talk about the role of AI in education, and stay curious about the possibilities. As AI keeps evolving, it's important to approach it with both excitement and a critical eye.
Exactly. Let's make sure it helps us create a better future for learning.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Breathe deep, close your eyes, and surrender to the cause. Let the rhythm of the symbols take you far. In the dance of the arcana, see your story start to bloom. Every flip, every turn, it's like magic in the room. Tarot trance, feel the vibe, let your spirit take a ride.